going to have a report on this. Mr. Tsoukalas has been given this report, and I will give the floor straight away to him to explain this to us. Mr. Tsoukalas.
Σας ευχαριστώ, κύριε Πρόεδρε. Κυρίες και κύριοι συνάδελφοι,
Thank you very much. Chairman, colleagues. Well, I am taking the floor here today to tell you a little bit about my thinking on this particular report. It is going to be officially presented at the beginning of July. And it was with great interest that I heard people talking earlier about research and innovation, and in relation to fisheries as well. Now, Horizon 2020 includes a very, very ambitious program. Now, the FP8 for research and innovation was the initial budget is 82 billion. 82 billion more than the 54 than we had in the past. So that 82 million is a real step forward. And that money is there to match the ambitions of the EU with a view to 2020. Mr. Sele is leading our discussions, our horizontal discussions on all the reports on research and innovation, and all the committees have agreed with him also that this budget is very high, nominally very high. And it's an indicative figure. And I think in real terms it'll probably be an increase of about 6 to 8%. So I'm giving you this fact straight off so that you can see really how things are happening and what the climate really is when it comes for changes in research and innovation within Horizon 2020. Now, as for research and innovation in our particular sector, fisheries, well, let me tell you first of all something that you may think is perfectly natural, common sense. Now, what research and innovation in the fishery sector is very important. What should our proposals from our particular committee be for what is happening under 2020? I heard Mr. Pereira speaking just now, and he mentioned about Mauritania and 700 kilometers of coast. We've got thousands and thousands of kilometers of coastline in the European Union, and very many EU citizens live less than 20 kilometers from the coast. 5 million Europeans work directly or indirectly in fisheries, and they make up 5% of our GDP. There are an awful lot of different maritime activities in the EU. It is absolutely fundamental to the development of the very European Union, and the role of the marine area is even more important if you take into account what the possibilities are, how we can tackle current challenges, for example, energy, climate change, tourism, transport, health, population exchanges, people mobility, and also moving goods and people on the sea. So there's an awful lot if you look at it, and if you take all that into account, you'll see how important it is to have research and innovation in the maritime area, because it really covers an awful lot of different areas. And I think part of this is sustainable fisheries that respects the environment and that also takes into account the social economic requirements of coastal zones and island areas as well. To date, more than 90% of biodiversity is not properly known. There is not scientific information of this. Mr. Gallagher spoke about this a little while ago, and so all of that also helps us to understand how important it is that we have proper, sustainable management of our fisheries and marine resources. That is absolutely fundamental, but it's ever harder to do. In FP7, the framework programme that's currently underway as regards the fisheries sector, aquaculture and marine biotechnologies have about 45 to 50 million euros per year, 30 for fisheries and aquaculture and 20 for marine biotechnologies. Now, this might seem like quite a lot of money, but you can see from results that actually it's not enough money. And an increase in the budget is something that we are going to have to get. Certainly for maritime research and navigation. Now, I will be presenting my report to you soon, and in my report I'm going to be focusing on the following points. The contribution of research to marine activities and navigation, and how we can use this to tackle current challenges given the current multi-sectoral approach. Stronger links to the structural funds, better cooperation with the research programmes under the structural funds and structural programmes. I think that this could be of considerable importance for the fisheries sector. Make sure that we have better trust, better confidence, better relations with people involved in the fisheries sector, in companies and also consumers. And then often research is seen as an obstacle in the fisheries sector, and I think that that's a frame of mind that really has to change. And then as for the budget, the fact that research in the maritime sector and for navigation as well, this comes clearly under the objective for 2020 because there are some huge European challenges there. And that there is this multi-sectoral approach as well for future research. And yet we still need to reinforce research. There has to be sufficient finance. We've got to have sufficient funds, because otherwise we're just not going to be able to achieve the potential of biotechnologies, of marine resources. We just won't be able to develop them. So these are a few of the ideas that I am going to be covering in my text. And in the meantime, I am all ears. I would like to have your suggestions, because I know that your suggestions will make the text even better, and I hope that it will be a proper response to the period we're living through at the moment. Thank you very much.